This is the Nations Conspire channel. Welcome to today's show. The World Government Summit is occurring right now, February 11th through the 13th. And this is where governments are going and conspiring against the citizens of the earth. They call it right out in the open what it is. It's a World Government Summit. Did you know that we had a world government? Well, if you're awake, you know that they're forming a world government around us right now through AI infrastructure. And what a coincidence that the topic on hand is preparing everybody for this AI infrastructure, how it's accelerating, how it's happening at such a rapid pace, and all governments need to be on board with AI infrastructure. Oh, and on top of that, 50% of human beings in the next 5 years are going to lose their jobs. And of course, the government needs to do something about it. And Klaus Schwab just happens to be the person who's speaking at the opening of this ceremony. I thought he was attached to the World Economic Forum. Is he also the president of the World Government Summit? Well, of course he is. He's connected to all of these things. He's the person responsible for really connecting the dots. And if you connect the dots with the people like Vladimir Putin and Justin Trudeau, and how these people actually were placed in power and all groomed via Klaus Schwab to do exactly what they're doing, then you start saying to yourself, oh, wow, this really is a giant conspiracy. And they talk about equality and equity when it comes to artificial intelligence. And I'm going to play for you some of the things from Klaus Schwab's speech. Because the equity that they're talking about and how governments need to work now and focus on making sure everything is equal is that we're all equal as far as being slaves to the system. When they say 50% of the people are going to lose their jobs, they mean the other 50% need to be making the same amount as the 50% who don't have jobs. In other words, they're talking about universal basic income. And notice when Klaus Schwab, in the clip I'm going to play, talks about the world, the future, artificial intelligence, how it all be run through it, keep in mind how he talks about the importance of cryptocurrency. Because all those people who think that cryptocurrency is the answer, as if the global governments don't run and control that, as if they've figured it out and the government just allows them to become rich and wealthy through some type of currency that is able to avoid the Federal Reserve, and they're free and void of all that stuff. It's a joke. It's an utter joke. Like I've said a million times, they would have whacked the person who came up with the idea. They would have thrown anyone in jail for trading cryptocurrency, saying that it's treasonous or it's illegal. They wanted you to learn how it all works with blockchain and crypto, because that is the new world order currency. Now, it might not be called Bitcoin. They might have another name in the future, probably Freedom Change or something along those lines, because the PSYOP is real. And that's all it takes in a psychological operation to convince people that they're free, is to just use the word freedom on everything, right? Freedom City. Oh, it's not like a smart city. It's a real freedom city. And these people fall for it hook, line, and sinker. So remember, folks, while Klaus is talking here, AI governance is what the World Economic Forum is. It's what the World Government Summit is. AI governance. And remember, Donald Trump, first day, putting $500 billion into Stargate to build up AI in the US, says we're going to be the leader in AI infrastructure. This week, Macron, France, unveils a €109 billion AI investment as they build out their AI infrastructure. The UK building out their AI growth zones and data infrastructure. China, you name it. Every country needs to have the AI infrastructure in place. And that's what connects all the countries as one. Do you understand? AI infrastructure connects us all globally as a global government. They're not going to reveal that to you yet because they need to create it and put it in place and make it seem like, well, Donald Trump's doing it so that America's economy booms. But once it's in place, once everyone's connected, once they tear down the government like Doge is doing, and then you wake up and you realize what they've actually done, it'll be too late. Because everything will be connected through AI. Your digital ID, your bank account, your passport, all your medical records, everything through AI infrastructure. Because remember, the data they're collecting is you. Here's Klaus Schwab talking again, same talking points. AI infrastructure, mentioning crypto, how we're all going to lose jobs, but government needs to build trust. It needs to build the trust of the people. So in other words, the government needs to manipulate the people, because he goes into detail saying how the government needs to explain what this is because people are afraid, right? So in other words, again, the government needs to lie to the people and tell them, hey, when we say 50% of your jobs are going to be gone, don't worry about it. When we say that AI is going to replace humanity, don't worry about it. When we say AI could literally commit mass genocide on humanity, don't worry about it. Trust in the government, folks. Listen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Minister, since we opened this meeting, the first meeting 12 years ago, I think, the world has changed so much, but I have to say you were always at the forefront of this change. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just think you were living 200 years back. It was the agricultural age. And then we had the first industrial revolution, with the invention of the steam engine, the second industrial revolution with mass production, electricity, the third industrial revolution with computers, and then the fourth industrial revolution. And I remember I spoke about the fourth industrial revolution when we opened this meeting in 2016. And now it's much more than just an industrial revolution. Similar to the transition from the agricultural age to the industrial age, we are now moving from the industrial age to the intelligent age. But there is one big difference compared to the first transition from the agricultural to the industrial age, where we had several generations to adapt. Now, this transition is happening at exponential speed. Everybody speaks about artificial intelligence, but just imagine what progress has been made just in the last 3 years. Now again, this country has been very foresighted. I think, Minister, you have since 2017 a Minister for Artificial Intelligence. So we are living in the transition to a new time, which will change everything. It will change how we communicate, how we work, how we live. In the agricultural age, the economy was mainly based on agricultural products. In the industrial age, industrial products and services, more and more sophisticated. But now in this new age, the base will be knowledge, data, and intelligent insights. What does it mean for governments? Governments have to be enablers of this change at lightning speed. They have to provide the necessary infrastructure. And they have particularly to cooperate with business, because this transition into this new intelligent age will only be mastered if all stakeholders of global society work together. Governments in the lead, business as the innovators, and of course civil society, making sure that this transformation is benefiting everybody. But governments have another big task and challenge: to produce, to help to produce the talents which we need to shape the intelligent age. Our capabilities, our knowledge base has to change tremendously in order to be competitive in this new world. Minister, you refer to education. Education will be the key. Now, what we have to expect, according to the research of my organization, is that 50% of jobs will be directly or indirectly affected already in the next 5 to 10 years by this revolution. But there's a third big role which governments have to play. Governments have to work together to create the necessary guardrails, the necessary ethical policies around those new technologies. They can serve for the benefit of humankind, but they can also do a lot of harm. What we are seeing today in the international efforts is not enough. Of course, my own organization is very much involved in creating the necessary understanding, but also the necessary to help the necessary policies around those new technologies. And it's not just artificial intelligence, it's also quantum computing, crypto, and so on. But we need more efforts, not just summits from time to time. We need a coordinated global process to make sure that those technologies are to the benefit of humankind, of everybody. Now, if we look at the future, Minister, you mentioned the lack of trust. Yes, if we look at the future, many people are afraid because the progress is so fast, so complex. Can we understand? I have to confess, even writing at the moment a book on the intelligent age, I don't understand all the aspects. So what is the consequence of not understanding? It's being afraid of the future. So governments have also the task to explain to the people, to be educators, to show them that actually those technologies have more opportunities than they entail threats. Now, the future is not happening. The future is shaped by us. The future is shaped particularly, and has to be shaped, through cooperation and collaborative efforts between governments, business, and civil society. The worst what could happen is not just we lose trust into governments or business. The worst what could happen is that we lose trust in our future. And the future is not happening. The future is shaped by us, as I mentioned. So let's look with optimism into the future. And as I said in Davos just 2 weeks ago, let's look at our future with constructive optimism.
So that's the horror story going on at the World Government Summit. And what we're hearing is a global race to build AI computing infrastructure. This is one of the things that they do to get the sheeple on board. They tell you it's a race. So they go, what's a race? Remember the race to the moon? That propaganda? Oh, America had a race to the moon, even though they really raced to a green screen. They had a race there to beat Russia and beat our competitors out there. Huh? For what? We don't know. We had to be number one. We had to do it first. We're America. That's all the thinking is with these people. Never thinking anymore. So they're telling you that we need AI infrastructure. We need to be number one. They don't even know what it means. And then they go, well, we got to beat China. So all the clowns go, yeah, we need to beat China. We need to be number one. If everyone's going to do AI infrastructure, then we need to be the best at it. Not realizing that Donald Trump is building the globalist New World Order government in front of our eyes. So you heard him mention the fourth industrial revolution. Again, a book written by Klaus Schwab. He wrote the book on it. They're bringing it in. Don't forget, Elon Musk proudly retweeted a quote from Dan Ives. He said, I covered tech for almost 25 years. What I saw in LA, this is when Musk had his We Robot event. He said, I think was a game changer. This is the new chapter, the new book for Tesla. Tesla is front and center of the fourth industrial revolution, which means and proves that Elon Musk, because this isn't a phrase, the fourth industrial revolution, this is a creation of Klaus Schwab, is in bed with Klaus Schwab, just like Donald Trump is, just like he spoke at the World Economic Forum a few weeks ago. And what was he doing? He was bragging about AI infrastructure. He wasn't there saying, I condemn all you people and we don't want to be a part of this. He was saying, look, we're building out AI infrastructure. We're going to build power plants to make sure we have and never go offline, that we have unlimited resources to stay online at all times. Even when we shut the grid off, we'll still have our AI data centers, right? And not one person picked up on what he was saying. They were just thrilled that Donald Trump had announced that men won't participate in women's sports anymore. So Elon Musk knows exactly what's going on. He will be speaking at this summit this week. And at the same time that this event opens, it's important to note a brand new article from the World Economic Forum. Public AI infrastructure. What is it? Do we need it? And will it ever be built? Right? Well, of course, they've been doing this over and over and over again for the last couple of years, talking about public AI infrastructure. Now Donald Trump is building it out, and Macron's building it out, the UK is building it out, everybody's building it out, right? And this is what they tell you. The idea is for governments to build publicly owned versions of the key components of the AI stack. So let's just agree on something here. 99.9% of the population aren't going to have a clue what this even means. They're just going to hear the word publicly owned. So I own some of it. I own some of this AI infrastructure. Yup, it's for everybody, right? While it takes your jobs and eventually kills you off, right? So data centers that public sector organizations and researchers, as well as small businesses, can use for training and running models, training data sets that anyone can use, what some are calling Open Library of Alexandria, which don't contain junk data, aren't stolen from copyrighted data, and can be tailored to specific cultural context. So they're going to use this, of course, to say, well, it's a library of endless information. That's what the data center is. You are the data center. You're the thing that they're monitoring and tracking. And the data is every word that you utter online, every word that you utter really in free space offline, because you have this smart devices in your home that are listening to what you say. And the data that you're saying near your Alexa is going right into these data centers. They're literally profiling you. And this has a lot to do with your digital twin. This is a lot to do with total control, really, does it not? So it's truly, they say, truly open source foundation models that countries, research labs, and companies can adapt and build on, trained on reliable data with democratic values built in, standard goals, and governance mechanisms to guide the development of AI in a socially beneficial direction. And I want to point this out because they go on this long list. What would we get out of it? And it says it's a BBC or a PBS, right? They talk about the private media, but right under that, they say, well, what it is, what AI infrastructure is, it's a CERN or a DARPA for AI. Great, just what we need, right? We have DARPA murdering us every single day, whether it's with directed energy weapons or the DARPA drones or DARPA's crashing their Blackhawks or DARPA's using voice of God technology on us. You know, yeah, that's great. It says many of the U.S. biggest technological innovations in the 20th century came out of the research labs at firms like AT&T, Xerox, and IBM. But those firms still have profits in their sights, not societal goals. DARPA, so DARPA has societal goals and CERN. DARPA, the military complex that's been created to kill us and build Skynet, and who is responsible for all the horror technology that we have. So DARPA funds research that's crucial to U.S. national security. CERN pools billions of dollars worth of research funding that individual countries wouldn't be able to muster alone. Right. Tell us what CERN does again, by the way. Oh, quantum physics. Oh, okay. We're trying to open a black hole. Oh, okay. That sounds like science. You mean you're really trying to summon demonic entities? I got it. Along with the quantum computing. Got it. So public AI could do the same, giving scientists the means to do cutting edge research and development AI models for use. The private sector might not. For example, a specialist medical AI for public health research, a housing AI to help solve problems of affordable housing, or a legal AI to improve the justice system. See where this is going? An AI for everything, right? And people will say, well, that's great. I don't have to, I don't have to go see a therapist. I can have an AI therapist. You can have an AI doctor. You're just going to be fully replaced. And of course, the AI doctor will eventually be AI doctor inside of your body. So what really should be occurring is the pushback. You could hear them saying, look, we're going at a rapid pace. We're not going to stop. We're the ones who are molding the future. We're the ones who are making the change to mold the future. While everybody sits back, puts in a vote thinking it counts when they're really giving their consent to be governed, and then hopes that the president's doing everything in their power or their prime minister is for them. At what point do the people say, we have these leaders who we supposedly vote in, who go to these events where there's all these people who are not voted in, like Klaus Schwab, telling us that 50% of jobs will be gone. Well, how are people going to live? Oh, don't worry about it. We're going to give you universal basic income. So you could sit at home, you could put on your virtual goggles, you could play video games all day, and you'll be able to barely get by, but be happy we allow you to live, right? How the people haven't stood up and rose up to stop it's beyond me, but it's really just because of a lack of understanding. You heard Klaus, what'd he say? Well, we need to educate them, right? So they need to lie to the people, which is you're going to hear more and more of from Musk and Trump, about how we need to do this, right? And really all Trump needs to do is say, look, China's going to have it, so we got to have it. We got to be as strong as China. We can't let China get ahead of us. And all these suckers just agree, right? We got to be number one. We're alpha males. We got to be the best. We're America, the biggest and the best. We can't let China have it before we have it. That's all it takes, without saying, wait a minute. So you got all this stuff with Starlink. You got this AI infrastructure. You have Starlink telling us during the Super Bowl. You have Musk tweeting about every day how you'll never be offline, that this thing's going to automatically connect to your phone. You can never get lost, right? Then telling you that the phone's obsolete, by the way, in a couple years, and that you're going to have a BCI, right? A brain-computer interface inside your body, right? Which would connect you to Starlink, which would literally connect you to Skynet, right? But they're going to smile at you and say, look, we're just going to beat them, It's going to make things easier. Air travel will be safer. When people start understanding what this is, and that it's more than just, and this is how they really do it too. This is really how they get people on board. They tell you that, hey, with this AI, you could do deep fakes. Ooh, I like those deep fakes of seeing celebrities do weird, funny things that people make. Or I can make an image like all the commercials you saw during the Super Bowl, which weren't even real people, all AI generated. People are fascinated by it. Instead of going, this is dangerous. They could actually use this against me one day. Right? Well, they go, well, why would the government ever use it against me? Well, you never know. Say one thing that they don't like, and guess what? They'll be using those deep fakes on you and telling the entire world that you're a terroristic threat. And then everyone will ask for you to go to jail, and they'll make fake footage of you killing somebody or doing something that you didn't actually do. And you'll be like Richard Kimball, the fugitive, on the run, an innocent man, right? But you'll really be proven guilty in the court of public opinion because they'll put it on a TV and say that you did it. And that's all it takes for the sheeple to believe it. They see it on a TV, they believe that it's real. So AI infrastructure in place. They're still talking about it at their globalist events while Trump continues to move forward with it. Elon Musk will speak there this week. And hey, what will we get out of it, folks? We'll just get, a CERN or a DARPA for AI. Great. Just what we need, right? Killing us slowly. Wasn't that a song? Killing us slowly. Yeah. Killing us quickly is what they should rename it. They're probably going to release a song about it real soon. I mean, the stuff that's going on that they're saying out in the open, and the fact that people can't connect the dots with Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all of these governments now being on board with AI infrastructure, it's incredible, but they don't understand what it is. So since they don't get it, they think that AI is no different than just I could have AI draw a picture for me, or AI could do this for me. Yeah, and guess what else AI can do? Well, AI can enslave you real fast, and that's what it's going to do. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.